You are asking, what is the point? Because something about the way you are living is no longer working. For a long time, you may have been able to keep going, wake up, show up, answer the messages, carry the responsibilities, be the strong one, the one who somehow manages. But then, recently, something has changed. The same routine that used to keep you moving started to feel unbearable. The same goals that used to motivate you feel empty. The same people who used to depend on you start to feel heavy like a burden. And the version of you that everyone praises starts to feel like a prison. That is when these type of questions arise. Not loudly at first, quietly, almost shamefully. What is the point of it all? And if you are there right now, I do not want to insult that question with quick positivity. Because sometimes asking what is the point is not drama or laziness. It's not avoidance. Sometimes it is the most honest question your soul can ask when your life has become too crowded with things that no longer feed you. So today, we're not going to rush past that question. We're going to sit with it long enough to hear what it is really asking. If you found your way to Radiant Energy, this is not a place where I hand you another burden disguised as healing. I'm not here to tell you to be grateful for the weight. I'm not here to turn your exhaustion into some spiritual lesson. Because today the reading and the energy of the cards pointed to something very specific. The end of living in a way that keeps costing you your own self. After we read the cards, we will go into the meditation session where you may hear layered affirmations. And different words may be spoken together at the same time. You do not need to catch every word or chase every sound. Let the message reach the part of you that is too tired to argue anymore. Headphones are recommended if you want the full experience. So take a breath and let's look at the cards that showed up around this energy. The first card is the Ten of Wands. This is what happens when carrying too much becomes normal. Responsibilities, expectations, everyone's needs, and the pressure to keep going. At some point, the weight stops feeling like something you are carrying and starts feeling like who you are. And this card's energy is telling me that you are tired. You have built your identity around holding everything together. And when that identity starts breaking down, the question comes up, what is the point of living like this? Then as I shuffled to get the next card, the Hermit fell out, reversed. The Hermit upright is about stepping away from the noise, so you can hear yourself clearly. But when it shows up reversed, it indicates that there is some disconnection from yourself. Not because your inner voice is gone, but because everything else has become so much louder. The guilt, the pressure, the role you're playing for other people. You've not lost yourself. You have been buried under the life you're trying to maintain. The Four of Cups came through, showing a moment when the things that used to fulfill you do not fulfill you anymore. The praise, the routine, the goals and distractions. Even the things you think you should be grateful for feel flat. That does not always mean something is wrong with you. Sometimes it means you are still filling your life with things that no longer nourish you. And the final card I drew for today is the Nine of Swords, showing the mental pressure that comes when you do not know what to do next. With the overthinking, the 3 a.m. spirals, the fear that asks, what if nothing changes? But fear is not truth. It is your mind trying to control something it does not yet understand. So when I look at these cards together, it tells me that you have carried too much. You've become disconnected from yourself. The things that used to fulfill you no longer do. That does not mean your life has no point. It means the way you have been living is no longer sustainable. And that is what we are going to work with. Before we go into the meditation, I want you to understand what is happening here. When you ask, what is the point? Your mind is usually not asking a calm, philosophical question. It is asking from exhaustion, from a life that has become too narrow. So the first thing we need to do is stop treating every thought as truth. A thought can feel powerful and still be a fear response. A thought can be loud and still be wrong. A thought can say, nothing matters, when the real truth is, I cannot keep living this way. That distinction matters. Because if you believe the thought without questioning it, you collapse into it. But if you look at it properly, you start to see what it is pointing to. And that is what we are going to do right now. We're going to identify the pressure. Look at where you're pretending. The assumptions that your worth may come from how much you can carry. And this is where we will stop for a moment. Because you cannot create a different life while still assuming you are the same exhausted person who must keep carrying everything. As long as you believe, this is who I am, this is my role, this is all I am allowed to be, your life will keep organizing itself around that belief. So we are going to use the meditation to question the identity that has been running your life and find out who you are when you're not holding everything together. Who you are when you're not proving that you're strong. Who are you when you stop confusing exhaustion with responsibility? Because the real work is not finding some perfect answer to the meaning of life, but in seeing clearly where you may have been mistaking survival for purpose. So take a breath and let your body understand this. The thought, what is the point, is a signal. It is showing you that something about the way you are living needs to be questioned. Not later. Now. As we go deeper, take a moment to notice where this is landing in your body. Because the mind can argue, the body usually tells the truth first. If it is safe for you to close your eyes, close them now. If you're listening while moving through your day, keep your eyes open and simply let the answers land. You do not need perfect stillness for this to reach you. Take a slow breath in and let it out. Now notice your shoulders. Are they lifted, tight, braced? Notice your jaw. Is it clenched? Notice your hands. Are they gripping? Notice your chest. Is it heavy? Notice your stomach. Is it holding something you have not said out loud? Just notice the cost of carrying so much. Because this is where the truth resides, within the honest recognition that something has become too heavy to keep carrying. So take another breath in, and as you exhale, let your shoulders drop. Let your body know you're not carrying everything in this one moment. Again, breathe in, and as you let it out, unclench your jaw. Again, breathe in, and as you let it out, let your face soften. Loosen your hands. Breathe in, and as you let it out, let your back rest into whatever is supporting you. For this moment, you are not required to explain your exhaustion or to prove that you have good enough reason to feel this way. You are here. You are breathing. And something in you is finally being honest. And that is where we begin. Now ask yourself quietly, what part of my life has become too heavy to keep carrying? Bring the question closer. What part of me is tired of life itself? What part of me is tired of the role I keep forcing myself to play? And what part of me is tired of the same disappointment repeating in different areas of my life? Because a question like, what is the point, does not come from one bad day. It comes from recognizing a pattern where you put in effort, hold on to hope, and yet face disappointment. The same feeling of ending up back in a place you thought you had already outgrown. So the question is not only, why do I feel this way? The question is, what belief, roles, expectations, or choices keep bringing me back here? And in this way, we enter the question differently, not as something to fear, as a signal to understand. Take a breath in and let it out. Just notice the thought that asks this question, what is the point? Do not fight it or push it away. There is no need to panic because it is here. It is just a thought moving through the mind. Sometimes it is because of pressure. Sometimes it is the mind trying to make sense of pain. Look at it and ask it, what are you really trying to show me? So ask yourself, what part of me is tired of the role I keep finding myself playing? Look at the patterns. It's not one bad day, not one disappointment. The pattern. What pattern keeps repeating? Ask yourself, what part of me is tired of the same disappointment repeating in different areas of my life? Maybe you're tired of giving more than you receive. You're tired of being useful but unseen. Maybe you're tired of starting again with hope and ending again with emptiness. Maybe you're tired of chasing goals that do not fulfill when you reach them. Maybe you're tired of being praised for a version of yourself that is quietly suffering. Let yourself see the pattern. Because what you keep assuming about yourself becomes the life you keep entering through different cycles. If you keep assuming, I am the one who must carry everything, life will keep handing you weight. If you keep assuming, I only matter when I am useful, you will keep choosing places where you have to earn love through effort. If you keep assuming, this is how life is, you will keep repeating a life that does not fit you. So we are going to interrupt that assumption now. Take a breath in and let it out. If you want, you can repeat these words out loud inside yourself, or if you have nodded off, just hearing them is sufficient. I am not the only person who must be responsible. I am not the only person who must be responsible. Now say, I am allowed to question the role I have been living so far. And again, I am allowed to question the role I have been living so far. Now ask, if I stopped building my life around exhaustion, what would I have to admit? Do not decorate the answer or make it sound spiritual. Let it be practical. Maybe you have to admit that something is not working. Maybe you would have to admit that you're angry or lonely, or that you want more. Maybe you would have to admit that the life people see from outside is not the life you feel on the inside. Keep your attention on the answer as it rises up. And now ask, what still matters to me when I stop performing? Not what should matter, because other people expect it to matter. What actually matters to you? Peace, respect, freedom, love, rest, truth, being seen, a life that feels like yours. Let the truth come forward. The words of that truth matter, because the way out of the spiral in which you ask, what is the point, begins with one honest value. One thing that still matters when the performance falls away. What is your value? Let it become clear. Not through false positivity. This is about being honest. If the old way of living has kept emptying you, then the next step is not to carry the responsibilities better. The next step is to stop organizing your life around them. So ask yourself, what would change if I stopped assuming I have to be the one who carries everything? Maybe you would say no. Maybe you would stop explaining yourself. Maybe you would rest without guilt, or stop chasing approval of everyone but yourself. Maybe you would let someone be disappointed. Maybe you would choose something that gives energy back to you. Maybe you would stop calling self-abandonment love. Take a breath and let your body register this. The question, what is the point, is not the enemy. It is the alarm. It is showing you where your life has stopped matching your inner truth. It is showing you where the role has become too different. It is showing you where the same disappointments have kept repeating themselves because the same assumptions are still running in the patterns. So now say inside yourself, I am willing to see the pattern. I am willing to stop calling exhaustion purpose. I am willing to stop mistaking pressure for meaning. I am willing to stop living only for others. Take another breath and let it out as you choose from what actually matters. The point is not to keep proving you can survive the same life. The point is to stop giving your life to something that keeps emptying you. The point is to notice what still matters and begin from there. As you come back, if you had closed your eyes, begin opening them as you take your next breath in and let it out. You clicked on this video because you had the same question. What is the point? Maybe the answer does not arrive as one big purpose. Maybe it starts with one honest decision. One area where you stop pretending everything is fine. one place where you stop overgiving, one role you stop performing, one pattern you stop repeating. That one step is enough to begin. Not because it will fix everything, but because it will give your life back and find meaning one piece at a time. So after this session, do not rush to explain everything away. Look at what it showed you. Look at where the disappointment keeps repeating, what you keep accepting because you think you have to. And make one choice of one thing that changes from today. Setting one boundary, having one honest conversation, one responsibility you refuse, one expectation you stop carrying, one value you start protecting. That is the point where it begins to become real in a different choice. Take what resonates, let the rest pass. Thank you for letting me be part of this moment with you. And if today's session spoke to something in you, please share it in the comments. Many others in the collective may need to know they are not the only one asking this question. And if you want more readings and reflections like this, subscribe to Radiant Energy, where we aim to reset and revive your energy. I look forward to seeing you again in the next session. Until then, stay blessed.